that it's steady. Okay. Not over 15 miles an hour. What we got one that strikes me as being out of the east right now. So anything we light, the fire's going to carry it that way. And that's a bunch of switchgrass right there, so it's going to burn. There's a lot of ways to burn, but one of the safest ways to burn is to put down a black zone downwind. And once you establish the width of that black zone is determined by how much the wind's blowing and how much fuel you got. So it may be 20 feet, it may be 20 yards, maybe 50 yards. So our first fire, what we'll do, we're going to go to the other side and we're going to lay down a backfire. We're going to back it into the wind. Right now the wind's like this, and it's going to stay steady. So we'll back it till we get a black zone, and then we're going to do what is called a strip head fire. Is we're going to come in at 20-yard intervals, upwind, light it so it burns with the wind, but it burns to that backfire each time. And you'll notice as fires have a personality, you have to be able to read them. Yesterday we had to read it pretty hard. But when a backfire is coming, the head fire, they create their own weather and they pull themselves together. And when they get together, they'll do this. But here it won't be very high. It might be pretty high out there in that grass. Okay? So that's what we're gonna do, a safe fire. You have these flappers. If you go with 4 parts gasoline and 1 part diesel, you get a free trip to the moon. So, and I'm the only guy that mixes it. And it's in a special container every time. This is a drip torch. You can buy this stuff from forestry suppliers in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, so what he's got there is 3 parts diesel fuel to 1 part gasoline. Put that in the drip torch, then you light a piece of debris or something, and then you can light the drip torch off of that. As you can see, he's lighting the fire to get a black line next to the fire break that was created with rakes and blowers, okay, leaf blowers. So you can see everything's dug right down in the dirt, and what you want to do is get that black line so that there's no fuel there. Now what happened was the wind started to shift and it turned around and went the other way.
Leaves don't burn worth the hood.
So all we do is adjust and put our strip head fires at a different location. Just keep lighting strips and adjusting what you're doing according to the way the wind's blowing. See, now it's blowing back into the stand from the original wind direction. Once it gets into that switchgrass, it starts to really take off, and you get a pretty decent fire with about 5-foot flames on it. But most of the time you can just walk around. Generally that's pretty much all that happens. This is just a half an hour later. Everything's burned and trees are in great shape. See here,
Wind's going the wrong way.
The wind started blowing kind of the wrong way. But what you do is you make your fire break wide enough that it'll be wide enough that that flame can't get over and jump over onto the other side. And then you have guys that have the flappers, put everything out so it doesn't creep over. It's really easy to put out.
Trees that are a good combination for a certain hardiness zone. Right.
There was only a couple guys. This is about a 3-acre area, and you know, 1 or 2 guys could run the flappers. 1 guy could light the fire, and you need 1 guy on the Indian tank.
I was telling him last year it was a perfect like control burn.
It was a pretty calm day, so you get a really nice updraft. The smoke goes straight up. Here it's taking off pretty good through the grass. These pine trees are adapted to fire, so it doesn't hurt them one bit. Here you have a little bit of chimney effect. When the wind picks up, on the downwind side of the tree you get turbulence and it goes up. That's how a lot of trees end up getting damaged if the fire is too intense. Here we have some brambles that are getting consumed, and in a couple weeks those will be resprouted and make excellent forage. Now here they made a new fire break around that dead snag. You see that dead log there. Instead of having to worry about that smoldering and having to come back and check it, just make a fire break around it and we don't have to light it. Now here Dr. Kroll is starting his strip head fires. Okay, so on the left that's the original fire coming across, and he's making strips. And what they do is they burn together, and they create their own wind in between. You'll see in a minute how both of them are going towards each other. This is another burn line, a black zone. Perfect black zone. Nothing can get out of there now because you have the fire break and a good black zone. There's no fuel for it to burn anywhere in there. Going around another snag. Okay, see how this fire is going towards the other fire because of the heat is pulling the air towards the other fire. See that? Here we had a little burner. All you do is put it out with the Indian tank and you're all set. Just lit the bark on fire for a second there. Be sure and hit the like and subscribe button and click on the bell so you'll be notified when there's a new video. And comment down below and let me know if there's anything you'd like to know more about.